The playoffs are off to a strong start this season. I'm Madelyn Burke for the Game Day here with Albert Wen. And Albert, talking about this Memphis Grizzlies Utah Jazz series, do Ja Morant and Dillon Brooks have what it takes to take down the 1 seed in the West?
They are very, very battle tested. They just beat the Spurs, the Warriors, and then the Jazz in game 1. So they've seen the top of the top there in the West that are playing well. I think it's going to wake up Utah. I still think Utah is going to come out really hot here in the second games 2, 3, and 4. I wouldn't be surprised if Utah wins the next 4 games. I like Ja Morant, I like Dillon Brooks, and I like the coaching staff there. But I think Utah is by far the superior team, and I think it's going to wake them up. And I think Donovan Mitchell, their ace in the hole, is going to be coming back very soon.
Yeah, I think that Donovan Mitchell injury has really kind of hampered them. And, a lot of people have kind of discredited the Jazz, even though they had the best record in the association, saying the regular season doesn't matter. I think those guys on that team are hearing that. And after that game 1 upset, they're going to come out strong. Portland, Denver, that series is tied at 1-1. But after game 2, that thing got heated. What's your temperature check on this series?
I still think Portland is going to pull it out. The loss of Jamal Murray is a little too much to overcome, but I do think Michael Porter Jr. is turning into a star right before our eyes. Everyone already knows Jokic is the MVP, and honestly, very, very deserving of the MVP. He's had another 30-point game in the playoffs, but I think there's too much talent on Portland. I do like the moves they made in the mid-season with Norm Powell. They added Covington, so they do have some defensive flexibility. I like Portland to pull it out, maybe in 6 or 7.
Yeah, I think a lot of us thought that when Murray went down, it was just curtains for Denver, but they've really pulled it together. And as you mentioned, Michael Porter Jr. stepping into his own and growing into a professional basketball player, even more so right before our eyes. Milwaukee and Miami, after game 2, that almost seemed too easy for the Bucks. Are they just going to coast to a win here?
I actually think this might be a sweep. I know it's crazy to say. I know we're going back to Miami, and, they are the defending Eastern Conference champions, but there's something not right about them. I think Butler is a little hamper. Bam Adebayo didn't take the big step that we all expected. And really the guy who hasn't shown up compared to last year's bubble playoffs is Tyler Hero. We're waiting for him to be that guy, the fourth quarter clutch shooting. I haven't seen it at all. And the Bucks, you can tell, are super motivated. They chose this matchup, right? They chose Miami in the first series, first round. And with the addition of Drew Holiday, Giannis, and Chris Middleton is still doing their thing. I like the Bucks.
Yeah. Now, I don't think it's considered a huge upset, but this Knicks-Hawks game was perhaps my favorite playoff game of the weekend. Trae Young silenced Madison Square Garden with that last shot. Epic finish to a close game. Do you think the Knicks can come back and win this series? Kind of the darling of the NBA this season, right?
So I did have Atlanta before the series. I just think they've been very underrated throughout the year. They have shooting. They can play big or small. They can switch on the outside. The Knicks are an elite defensive team, but they've always had trouble scoring throughout the year. I still like Atlanta, but this is a series that will most likely go 7. Can you imagine Madison Square Garden, Game 7, New York Knicks, Atlanta Hawks? I want to see it. I don't care who wins. I just want to experience it as an NBA fan.
Shoot, the energy at the Mecca was incredible in game 1. I have chills just remembering it. I can't imagine a game 7 for a team that hasn't been in the playoffs in 8 years. Lots to watch, lots to unfold. Very excited to watch all of these series come to a conclusion. And we'll be following it all along. Continue to check in with us at thegameday.com for all the latest.